Hi, I'm Dave. I live in Utah. I'm from Utah originally, and I am being asked to tell my story, essentially, but in a different way. Not the, hey, I'm Dave, I'm from Utah. That's just how it's true. But, and I'm not here to this is going to be very different than probably most videos you've ever seen. There are some out there like this, because I've seen them. I know who put them out, and I, by the way, thank you very much. Very much appreciate the videos of similar style. And what I mean by that is, I'm here to not just talk, but to help people help you feel how I feel most of the time. And what I mean by that is safety and peace. So if you're not looking for how to be at peace and feel safe, then probably not the video for you. A warning, almost 2 minutes in, that I tend to trigger people. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not going to change. I am who I am. My energy is my energy. My words are my words. The way I am is the way I am. Yes, I improve, I change, I make adjustments, but not based off of the fact that somebody comes and says, I don't like your purple shirt, I don't like your glasses, you triggered me with the way that you said the word, none of that matters to me. Sorry, not sorry. Go get some help and some healing. I do feel bad for you, like compassionate, if I trigger you. I don't like that people suffer, I don't like that people hurt. But when it's to change, and when it's to change for the better, or at least give opportunities to change for the better, I mean, that's how I got to where I am at. And that's how I'm getting to where I'm going, is by doing what I do. And I had to get triggered many, many times, and I still do on occasion. It's rare, but it does happen still. It used to not be rare. It used to happen all the time. Let's start with what brings you peace. If you're looking for me to give you answers of go do this, go do that, I mean, I have suggestions of things to try, maybe. Excuse me. But they're things that have helped me, and I'm not you, and you're not me. I'm not a prophet. I'm not here to tell you what. Well, in these videos, in this video, never mind. I'm not here to tell anybody how to live. I'm here to tell people how I live. I'm here to tell people how I think. And you do with it what you will. It's not to say copy me. It could be, if that's the right answer for you. But you're unique, you're different. Your experiences, your life, your traumas, your injuries in every form are different than mine. And so the solutions, the healing, the path, the pattern, they're very likely different than mine, than what I have used to get to where I'm at. Let's start with this. Every Sunday I go to 2 churches. Why do I go to 2 churches? Because I want to. I want to. But what churches? Doesn't matter. But why? Doesn't matter. But Tony Belcher, go where I want to go. Now, I am going to give you my motivations. But I want you to understand. If you say, where do I start? Go where you want to go. Go where you want to go. Be in the physical locations on this earth where you want to physically be. At the times you want to be there. If that matters. It's frustrating, isn't it? You're not giving me answers. I have more questions. Yeah, I know. But I'm not hiding anything. I go to 2 churches because I feel comfortable at 2 different churches. If I added a 3rd church to the rotation, it's because I would feel comfortable at that church. And I may. If I cut one church out, it would be because I either no longer felt comfortable there or I just didn't want to keep going to 2 churches. And I may do that too. Those are my choices, made in those moments of potential future selves. I don't care. Today I went to 2. Why? Because I felt comfortable. Because I wanted to. So if you don't feel comfortable at church, why are you going? Well, my parents make me. I was raised that way. I can't upset people. Okay, well, then you will not find the peace that I have found. So that's the second kind of lesson in there. If you're doing things because of how other people will react to you or respond to you, then you will not find the peace that I have. So I don't want your peace. Great. Why are you here? Go listen to something else. Go watch something else. I'm here for those who are going, what's different about you? Why are you happy when you got fired from your job and you got evicted and you lost access to your children and you have pending charges in Utah and Idaho for drugs and. I'm happy because I do not look outward for my happiness. So if those charges, I get prosecuted and I get convicted and I sit in jail, guess what? I'll be happy in jail. That one's not necessarily because I chose to be there, but I can and I can find peace, and I am at peace anywhere and everywhere I go. I've done it. I've been in jail. Short time. I've been in the mental health ward, locked up as a prisoner patient. Best week ever. I loved it. Oh my God, I loved it so much. There were such wonderful people, the patients, and many wonderful employees, staff members, and some not quite as wonderful. That most of them were actually really, really great. But their processes and their systems and whatever, I'm not here to talk about all that nonsense. It's not really helpful for the patients. But my point is, wherever my physical body is, I take the time to center my mental, spiritual, energetic self, conscious self. Now, this is not what I've always done. I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm the master at this. I've done this for my whole life. No, I'm not even close. In fact, just a couple weeks ago, maybe even a week ago, I was very chaotic with my energy. I'm learning. Because I do want to learn. You see, I don't like injustice. I don't like suffering. I don't like pain, myself or anybody else. And so I look around and see what everybody else is doing, and I say, then I'm not going to do those things. And I find the people who are at peace, or partially at peace, or talk about being at peace. And I say, what are those people doing? And some of them are sitting in churches Some are. And many others are sitting in those same churches and they are not at peace. I was one of those. I was not at peace in church. Till recently. So I'm in my car, I'm driving. Where are you going? Doesn't matter. When are you going to get there? Doesn't matter. Well, aren't you going to be late? Doesn't matter. I do get a little anxious still this morning when I was getting ready for the first, because it starts at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, and I don't like to be late to things. Because I don't want to cause a spectacle. I don't want to be a distraction to other people, and so I do try to hurry up to get ready on time, that kind of thing. If I'm running late or whatever else for something that starts on, that has a specific start time. It's pretty rare that I go to stuff like that now, but I still do on occasion. And churches are a couple of those things that I go to that have those. But in the case of right now, like I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna eat some food, maybe watch a movie, maybe read a book. I don't know. It's really nice outside. It just rained here in Utah, and so I might sit outside and enjoy the smell of rain. I love the smell of rain and after it's rained. It's calming to me. It's peaceful. It's enjoyable to me. If that's not your cup of tea, get your cup of tea and go somewhere else. And if tea's not your tea, grab your coffee or Coke, your beer, whatever, and go do your thing. Whatever calms you, brings you peace. I watched a video of one of my friends, and her video was her sitting on the video for 5 minutes, not saying a word. Thank you, by the way, for that video. I can think of your face right now. Sorry, I'm not calling you out by name. Christy. Tiny Turtle Tarot, I think is her channel, or at least that's what she calls it. It was an inspired video. Because it was so perfect. What is doom scrolling? Doom scrolling is, got to get to the next thing, gotta get to the next thing. Oh, what's the next dopamine hit? What's the next thing? What's the opposite of doom scrolling? I don't know. Maybe watching a video of silence. Maybe turning everything off and meditating if you can and know how. If you're like me and you just didn't know how to sit down for 5 minutes straight without jumping to some other task or something. That's how I was. Still am to some degree once in a while. But I'm learning. And there are people going before me, showing me the way. And I love it. I love that. Thank you to all of you who have done that. And there are so many of you. And I will call you out by name as we get along. Freya. Jadina. And there are a few others. But, when you can just calm down and sit with yourself. And I have no idea who may or may not watch this. And I'm running this video long on purpose. And I have long pauses on purpose. And this won't be too long, but this is gonna be how it is, some of these. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing in every video because I don't plan out as much as I used to. And we'll talk about that one in a future video. But I'll tell you this. I used to be so anxious about everything. And much of that was because I would plan things and then things wouldn't go to my plans, according to my plans. So then I would plan, and then I would have my alternate plan 1 and B, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. But then maybe it didn't go according to any of my plans. Then what? frustrating. And the anxiety is the future of what if, what's gonna happen? Usually worst case scenario, right? What if this bad thing happens to me, to my family, to my pets, to the earth, to things I love and people I love? Well, some things are gonna happen. That's just life. It's the way it is. And some things are bad, like they cause suffering, pain, harm. And some are not. But when I would sit and plan out the future that never happened, by the way, the way that I planned it, I was actually creating that future to a small degree. You say, well, you just said it never happened. No, it didn't happen the way I planned it. But because I was planning for a contingency, so I'd say, okay, if something bad happens, then I will respond and react this way, right? So I was looking at it as I'm planning for me. How do I train and prepare? But I was also creating in my mind that bad scenario and reinforcing that bad scenario. And like it or not, we are creators, co-creators of our realities. And I'm not here to discuss this with you. I'm not here to argue with you in the comments. I probably will never look at the comments, just so you know. Sorry, not sorry. It's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't have compassion for you. It's not that I don't respect you. It's that I look inward for my validation. And when I look outward for validation, which I still do on occasion, it's seeking for something that I already have. The only validation I require is the validation that I already have inside of me. Or if I don't, well, I do, and if you don't, then how do you cultivate that? And that's a good question, and we might get into that in another one. I'll start with, for me, it started with loving myself completely. Every self of me. All my old selves, all my new selves, every future self, every possible iteration or instance of Dave. I love me. And then forgiveness. I forgave. And I do this maybe not as often as I should. But I don't think I have to do it very often anymore. But forgiving every instance of Dave. Ever. For everything I've ever done, said, thought. Anything. And then I found out that I could start loving everybody else. Everybody else. Everybody else. And then I found out that I could forgive everybody else. And every version of them. I could love every version of them and forgive every version of them. See, well, what about the really bad people? Yeah, them too. It's hard. I didn't say this was easy. What about somebody who did this bad thing? Yeah, them too. But they're horrible. Yep. But they hurt kids. Yep. But they were Hitler. Yep. But they did this, that. Yep. I just am telling you how I found peace for me. You can fight it all you want. You can do whatever you want with it. It's up to you. I know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to do what I was asked to do, which is to tell the world how I am able to do and to do what I do and to be who I am today. But you should go get revenge on the people who... I don't care. I don't want revenge. I don't want to hurt anybody. But it's unjust. Yeah, it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Not to me. If it matters to God or your version of God or whatever you believe, like, I know what I believe and what I know. And I do. There's a source. I have a Father in heaven. There's a God, Father, Godfather. Sorry. I'll be here all night. There's a God. I have a Father. A heavenly Father. A source Father. A higher self Father. Whatever you want to call it. I call him Father. I have a Father. And he loves me. And I trust him. Well, who's this God? Doesn't matter. You believe what you believe. All right, have a great day.